Well, children with gender dysphoria will no longer be given puberty blockers after the NHS in England found there was not enough evidence that the treatment was safe or effective. Sky News contributor Emily Carver joins me now. Emily, great to see you as always. Look, I've got to say, debate here in Australia on this very issue has been shut down. It's been stifled. How has it been received by the NHS over there, by the NHS's decision rather over there?
Well, as you say, this is a global issue, and there's so much madness going on when it comes to gender identity treatment. But in England here, there was a whistleblower at one of the clinics who said that essentially children were being given drugs and pushed down clinical treatment path instead of having holistic talking therapy and the like, and looking at children's mental health as a whole and looking at whether an intervention like puberty blockers is actually the right thing. So after whistleblowers came out, this all came to light that this clinic was doing was responsible for wrongdoing. And so essentially the NHS England did a consultation, have actually looked at the evidence and found that maybe it's not a good idea to be handing out puberty blockers to people under the age of 18. But the problem is NHS England, of course, is our publicly funded service. There are, however, many private clinics, and there will be other ways for people to get around this. So I think there needs to be a big look at this in the whole, not just for the NHS, because you shouldn't also be able to, as a child, in my opinion, be able to have puberty blockers at such a young age. But there's a bill going through in Parliament today, which is Liz Truss's bill, and this is all about biological sex and making sure that biological sex matters, particularly when it comes to women's only spaces. We've also got the Labour leader, Keir Starmer, finally admitting that actually it's probably not a good idea for transgender athletes to compete in female sports. So as you can see, you get the impression that this conversation is very much shifting here in England, and it's becoming more common sense.
Well, it's shifting in England. In Australia, it is not. It is being stifled. There was a bill here along the similar vein and it was shut down. So, look, it's an interesting one. Now, look, we've got to talk about Kate Gate, OK? Because the effects of this photo scandal are still being felt now, with the top agency AFP now saying that Kensington Palace is no longer a trusted source. Look, Emily, is she taking the fall here for someone else's mistake? It just seems incomprehensible that the media-savvy royal machine would make such an error, or like that Kate would actually spend her days on Photoshop.
It does seem incomprehensible. And there was just a poll out the other day saying that Kate is still the most popular royal in the royal family. So they need to be looking after. But on the picture, this country is quite split. There are lots of people who think this is just an innocent Photoshop error. But then there are many people, too, who think that there is more to this than meets the eye. Of course, the British press is much more careful than in the United States, for example, where people are talking on talk shows very openly about all the various conspiracy theories and all of that, which we're not doing so much in this country. Fundamentally, what everyone cares about is Kate's welfare. She's obviously unwell. It has now been a very long time since we've seen her properly. Lots of questions still remain over this photo. Many people saying, oh, is it an old photo? Could she possibly have done this herself? Is this all coming from the palace? Is this some way of managing PR that we don't know about? Of course, Prince William is soldiering on and still going to events.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see when she will actually appear in public again. Now, look, Meghan has returned to Instagram. How exciting. Get the breaking news out to launch her new lifestyle brand, of all things. Emily, tell us about it.
You know, I can't quite believe the timing of this. So last night was an awards ceremony to celebrate the legacy of Princess Diana, essentially a bit of a memorial. And this is the day that Meghan Markle chooses to launch this pretty vacuous, I must say, Instagram account. Apparently it's about cookery. She's calling it the American Riviera Orchard. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But what struck me is I looked at the Instagram page, and she's already got huge numbers of followers. So clearly there is an interest. But she just says, by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Now, this raises alarm bells for me, because she's essentially branding herself entirely as the Duchess of Sussex, and essentially making money out of that. Now, that is not acceptable practice. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to make money off the back of your royal titles in this way, because it could lead to corruption and other things. So I'm wondering what on earth was going on here. Why on earth did she choose the same day as Diana's Legacy Awards ceremony.
Yeah.
And what exactly is going on here? It's all very bizarre. I'm not sure
Well,
at
look,
all.
nothing ever makes sense when it comes to Meghan. Let's be honest. I mean, this is not an Instagram account I would look to follow. It doesn't sound very appealing, but you know, look, all the best to them. Now, this is interesting because a Cheltenham festival, this particular festival, it's a must-attend society event in England that's existed for decades, with the ladies traditionally putting on their best frocks for Ladies' Day, but now, Emily, it's been called Style Wednesday. It has gone gender neutral.
Do you know what? This is upsetting. Ladies' Day is one of those traditions that, funnily enough, women actually enjoy. It goes back to Queen Victoria, even. So this is a long-held tradition in this country, and it's something that women look forward to. They look forward to wearing ridiculous outfits, having all their fineries, having their high fashion, having their designer brands, having their big hats with feathers sticking out of them, and long dresses, gowns, and everything like that. I don't understand why, in order to appeal to other audiences, perhaps, in order to get more young people there, they feel like they have to go a bit
Yeah.
woke. Now it's
Oh,
all about re-wearing your fashion. Now the men are allowed to be
oh,
involved in
yeah.
best dressed. It's no longer
Seriously.
about the women. But you
No.
know what? I think the women will still say it's Ladies' Day.
Well, who would have thought that ladies actually enjoy Ladies' Day? What a foreign concept in this day and age. Emily Carver, thank you so much, as always, for joining us.